Hey Chris, BA here. I wanted to just give you a really short video on how to set up that standard deviation indicator, and second thing, just introduce a concept to you. So the concept is a combination of indicators that include the standard deviation and that deviation scale moving average that I mentioned to you. So again, it's a concept. It can be replaced with anything. It's a concept, like I said, that I use in real-time trading. I really use it. It's exclusively all I use whenever I'm trading full-time, because it's just so accurate in pinpointing turning points in the marketplace. So anyway, let's get started. I won't elaborate much because you're way ahead of the game in this right here, so you'll be able to take what little bit of info I give you, run with it. We'll meet again on another meetup and talk through it. So let's get started. All right, so this is your deviation scale moving average right here. All right, now what I want to do is set it up for you so that you can get the look that you want. Now all of these broken lines are standard deviation moves away from the center point of whatever moving average you choose. Right now this thing is defaulted for a 20 period moving average. So each of these little dashed lines are standard deviation moves away from that. I've only found that the first two measurements are of any concern to me. So what I want to do is, to make this look different, I want to deselect all these others and put the graph on there. We're going to take off these thresholds simply because I use the first and the second dash lines as my threshold. So once I adjust this, you'll see what I'm talking about. So let's go ahead, edit the study. I'm going to leave it at 20. I've looked at all kinds of different moving averages in here. 20 period works as good as any for how I like to trade. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is, for the standard moving average, the spread here is, if you like 20, leave it there. Just play around with it. I set it again to a look I like. I like those more prominent blocks connected with a line. Okay. Colors, didn't change that. Alright, so let's go over zero line. I leave that the same. You can change that ever how you want to. If you don't want it to be so prominent, then change that color, dash line, whatever you want to. Alright, these overbought, oversold thresholds, I deselect those. Now what I want is, I want to show these lines here, so I just color them different things. So the first A, and we're going to make that stand out a little bit more. B, we'll change that to a 2, make it yellow. Alright, so those are kind of one standard deviation away from that 20 period moving average. Now we want to see the C. You can make it whatever color you like in there. Change it to a 2. We'll make this one red. D, same thing, change it to a 2, turn it to a red. I think that was the same one. Okay, now we want to deselect the rest of these. I just don't want to see them. If you want to leave like E and F, next layer up, that's fine too. Let's do that just so you can see what I'm talking about here. We'll leave E and F up there. Alright, I think that's all that we need to do. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at it now. Now you can see it's a little bit more manageable. If you want to get rid of E and F, just go in there and deselect those right there. Okay, just the basic reads on this is, what I've done is I've left your deviation scale moving average up there. Here's your standard deviation indicator, and down here is the SVE stochastic RSI. This thing is very, very good. You can play around with the let's see, make sure you can see that. Yeah, so let me pull that up so you can see it on the studies here. SVE stochastic RSI. Just go in there, change all the default settings to 3s, leave your thresholds the same, and you can change the color whatever you want to, ever how you like to see it. Okay, now you've got trend, confirmation, and also in addition to confirmation you have extreme measurements in case the market gets really extreme. So and then right here's your oscillator to tell you to identify buy points, buy sell points. Okay, so you can see here every time Intel gets down to this one standard deviation away from 20, it's usually a good time to take a long position. So I've been stalking Intel. You know, I'll wait for a little bit more wiggle, and we'll probably look to get in. Alright, don't need to explain this. I think what's important though is the concept. I'm just going to show you a couple of these and you can take it from there. Alright, so of course above the deviation scale is bullish. Any probe back down to it is a potential buy point. What I like is right here. It measures it for you. Anything below that threshold tells you buy point. Okay, so what I'm using this as a confirming trend tool. You know, it stays above the 20 period moving average right there. This is below. This probes it, stays above, so that tells me that, hey, next bar, you know, we probably want to start getting along this thing. This is first pullback, so it works great. Okay, up here, same thing. I want to see more of a prominent pullback. I mean, here this thing measures it again for you, just prior to the move up. Anytime this probes below the threshold, this is above. This is above. You know, it's an opportunity to go long. That's all this is right here. So you can just see, you know, all that. It even has buy and sell arrows on there if you. Here you almost get one, but it's a probe. You know, that kind of dip I would have waited to see, but here we get another one. That little pullback before the final thrust up. Okay, works the same for sales. Let me remove all these. Let's see. Let's see how volatility product looks here. Oh yeah, perfect. Okay, here you can see the sell side. Perfect sell signals on this one. I'm going to remove that because we had a little broach above right there. We broached above that. What I'm going to, once I finish with this right here, I'm going to show you that yeah, this is really the best signal out of that. I mean, you could have waited and gotten in on this one to confirm. You would have the following day this thing would have opened up, dropped, and pushed this back down below. So I mean, you could have gotten in on that bar for sure. At least set you up. Perfect failure though at the deviation scale moving average. Look on the long side over here, up, up. Tells you that's the point to look at. So again, I'm not going to spend any more time on this. I think you see the concept right there. This paints the picture, tells you in a bearish trend when you are most likely to, yeah, I missed that one right there. Yeah, this little sell right here. Yeah, that was a good one too. Okay. All right, so now let me expand this out and just talk about the deviation scale moving average. Anytime this thing crosses a line from above down below or from below to above, I consider that the market is changing its characteristics. So for example, right here, we were trading above this area. Let's scrunch this down and take a look at every time this thing trades above and then goes below. Some of the opportunities. It tells you just you can play to the short side in these right here. Buy puts. Well, I wouldn't do it in UVXY. They're just way too expensive. But these two areas right here are very significant. Okay, we touch it right here and fell. When it fails right there and gets back below your deviation scale moving average, it just confirms the move. Okay. Here you touch it on the downside. It rallies up, touches. Now you get a good bearish signal right there, because now it's crossed down below. It's bearish as all get out, confirmed by everything. And now you start taking short signals again. Here is a very, very extreme. These are what I like to see. Those moves right there above that E and F lines. You're only going to see it above E on volatility products. Above here, that's the extreme move. All right, so the move back down below there kept falling down below the levels. So very good short positions in the volatility products or bullish positions in the stock market. All right, same thing. Let's see if we can find a stock. I'm just looking at stuff right now. Let's try Newmont. All right, so as is always, these divergences here where higher low, lower low, those are important as well. So but here you never get, even though it crosses a threshold here, it tells you this at a significant point, it still never confirms it on your deviation scale moving average. So you're still bearish at that point. Nice bearish sell signal right there against your deviation scale moving average. Yeah, I mean, this thing just walks the dog all the way down and then to the upside here. Really jetty, but your deviation scale moving average keeps you right at, that was really the only one that was kind of in question. So yeah, extreme. Let's see, extreme to the upside. Well, you have a touch here, and then it starts bleeding back down. So anyway, I think you get the point. You can play with this moving average and get the scale different. That's entirely up to you. Yeah, some really nice signals here. Here we have some extremes that cross over that lend to some short-term gains. So here it crosses above. Again, you have to have a long-term view or trading very short-term. I prefer to let this thing cross, and then once it's confirmed by the deviation scale moving average, then start taking trades. So on one side or the other of this thing. Okay. Hey, Chris, hopefully this helped. Short video. Let's see what we have here. Yeah. I don't think I have anything else. Hopefully you can string this together for a nice little trading system, and just play around with this. I don't know if this is what you're looking for. It's the only thing that I've been able to have built for me that, you know, gives me a good range. You can build the bands around the moving average too. You can do that. You know, if you, let's see what we have here. You know, if you prefer to, if you need the screen space, you can always move this up on top of your chart price so you can see that, and that gives you you know, a lot more screen space there. So, you know, it depends on what you like to see. You overlay this on price, and you can see the sell signals on how the market reacts every time you get a buy and sell signal. So that's kind of neat too. Puts it a little different perspective. But anyway, that's it. Hey, hope you enjoy it. I'll talk to you later, man. See you.